WBO Junior Welterweight Championship. Unbeaten, Randall Bailey defends his title against the veteran Hector Lopez. The challenger, number 7 rated Hector Lopez, perennial world rank contender, terrific competitor, confident guy, very difficult to hurt. 0 for 2 in world title attempts, lost decisions to Miguel Angel Gonzalez and Sammy Fuentes. In between, probably gave Kostya his toughest fight, but lost on points. Big factor, inactive since May of '98, 18-month layoff. It came after he was charged with drunken driving and served 9 months in jail. In and out of trouble with the law, probably his own worst enemy, but now volunteers to prevent gang violence in Southern California. Ferdy Lopez, very experienced, very tough. But what about ring rust and conditioning?
And very rusty. I don't like older fighters who haven't fought a lot. They just never get it back. It's just too hard to come in with one of the top guys and look good. I think he'll fight as hard as he can, but I think he'll be overwhelmed.
It's all good.
So there is Hector Lopez bouncing around, getting ready for the champion, Randall Bailey. 19 knockouts in 19 fights, a testament to his punching power. Won the title with an impressive first-round KO of Carlos Gonzalez in May. Thunderous left hook, 41 seconds in. His trainer, Al Bonani, who's had 5 world champions, calls Bailey his best prospect in 25 years. A guy who grew up defending himself in the tough Miami projects of Liberty City. Many street fights. His mother searching for a way to keep her son out of trouble. Took him to the PAL gym when he was 14. Turned out to be a good move. Ferdy, will his power outdo the boxing skills of Lopez?
I think so. It's power, it's speed, it's determination. I've watched this kid all during the time he was growing up in Miami. He knocks everybody out. He's unbelievably fast, and his knockout power in both hands and determination is top rank. He is one of the best fighters going today.
All right, let's check the numbers as we go to the tail of the tape. Bailey, the champion at 25, 7 years younger than Lopez. A 2-inch height advantage for Bailey. Lopez had problems making weight, was 2 pounds over, got it right the second time. The reach is even. And the key unifying rules for this fight. There is no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. If an accidental headbutt occurs before the end of the 4th round, it's a technical draw. If it happens after the end of round 4, they'll go to the scorecards. So here at the Grand Casino Event Center in Tunica, Mississippi, getting ready for the WBO Junior Welterweight Championship, Randall Bailey versus Hector Lopez. Let's get the formal introductions from our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to the Grand Casino in Tunica, Mississippi, as we have a big night of action coming away, and it's all brought to you by Don King Productions and Showtime Championship Boxing, along with Budweiser, the undisputed king of beers. This bout coming away, a world championship attraction, is sanctioned by the World Boxing Organization. The president, Francisco Valcarcel, supervisor in attendance is Rudy Paz, along with the Mississippi State Athletic Commission. The chairman is Billy Lyons. Introducing to you our 3 judges scoring this bout from ringside. From Destrehan, Louisiana, we have Elmo Adolph. From Biloxi, Mississippi, C.D. Jenkins. From Bayamon, Puerto Rico, Tomas Vasquez. And the referee in charge, working in this, his 25th world title bout, Fred Steinwinder III. All right, fans, here we go. It's 12 rounds of boxing for the WBO Junior Welterweight Championship of the World. Introducing to you first the challenger on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing blue trunks with white and gold trim. He is now fighting out of Palmdale, California, by way of Mexico City, Mexico. He weighed in at the junior welterweight limit of 140 pounds even. As an Olympic silver medalist, his professional record stands at 39 wins, 6 losses and 1 draw, with 21 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, he is ranked the WBO number 7 junior welterweight contender. Introducing Hector El Torero Lopez. And his opponent across the ring is the defending world champion on my left, fighting out of the red corner, entering the ring wearing teal trunks with white trim, fighting out of and representing Miami, Florida. He weighed in the same as his opponent, 140 pounds even. He is undefeated in his campaign to the ring with a perfect record of 19 wins, no losses. All 19 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight making the first defense of his title, here is the WBO Junior Welterweight Champion of the World, Randall once again, a referee in charge, Fred Steinwinder III, now to give instructions.
Look, I want to tell you, listen to my commands at all times. I want you to keep your punches up. Look, both of them, keep them up. Protect yourselves at all times, okay? I'm going to talk to you throughout the whole fight, so listen to me. We won't stop action. Let's go touch gloves. Come out, fight. Yeah, right there on the trucks is all right. I'm going to watch them both.
All right, Bobby, let's get your keys to victory, beginning with Randall Bailey.
Well, the champion's got to come out. He's got to set the pace. He's got to put a lot of punches together and be aggressive. Keep the pressure on, throw a lot of punches.
And how about his opponent, Hector Lopez?
Hector Lopez has to be real simple and control the pace and box very smart. If he doesn't, he's going to have real problems.
Hector Lopez, well, can he finally win the big one is one question going in. Can he afford another loss? And how will he react if Bailey really connects on him? Bailey has 13 first round and 3 second round KOs, 17 of his 19 knockouts in 3 rounds or less. Only one opponent has survived into the 7th round, so he often makes quick work of his opponents.
Something that's equally important too, Steve, is that Lopez not only didn't make the weight, which could weaken him a little bit, he took this fight on very short notice, and also after all of that, he's getting on in his years. He's been through the war.
And he hasn't fought in a long time, Bobby. That's almost the worst of all. You haven't fought a long time in a row. That's bad news.
That's the worst kind of stale.
His last fight, May 29th, 1998. An 8th round TKO over Cesar Valdez. Wild swing and a miss there by Bailey, trying to end it on one punch with a left hook.
Have you ever seen a more tattooed fighter than this guy? He's got a huge number of tattoos on his back. I wonder why you would get a tattoo on your back if you can't see it.
Well, it says, I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. A quote from Emiliano Zapata. He showed it to me yesterday. He is heavily tattooed.
As it turned out, Emiliano died on his horse.
I'll let you explain that to Hector.
History and tattoos is an old game.
Randall Bailey, who says he plans to knock Lopez out eventually. He says the key to victory is his jab,
which he's not using a lot of right now. He's using a lot of pressure, not a tremendous amount of jabbing.
But punching power and quick hands are his major strengths. Al Bonani, his trainer, calls him a natural athlete. He'd like to see him box a little more. If there is one weakness attached to Randall Bailey.
Well, I'll tell you, Lopez landed a pretty good left hook on the inside there and got Bailey's attention, got him to step off a little bit, and now you see Randall Bailey moving and Lopez a little more the aggressor.
But Bailey's throwing some bombs in there. He landed a very good body shot and came back with a right to the head that were really hard.
Randall Bailey 19-0 with 19 knockouts, his second defense of the WBO junior welterweight title. A pro for 3+ years, turned pro in 1996. He'd love to unify or even fight Julio Cesar Chavez at some point. The other champs, Shambe Mitchell, Kostya Tzuran, Millett. Very talented division now.
Well, he's got a great division. On any day, he could pick any one of those fighters, and it could be the war of the year.
Just see that stiff jab he put in there, Bobby. He put in a
Stop your punching, stop your punching, step back clean.
What I would call a shotgun jab in the old days.
Yeah.
Shotgun.
That was a double barrel. Really stuffed it in there.
Lopez, an excellent boxer who provides all sorts of movement and different angles, as you can see. More than willing to mix it up. He wants to wear you down. Boxing ability, toughness, experience. Those are his strengths. Very offensive-minded. Usually punches in bunches, works the body well. His best punch, he told me, his left hook to the body. He said that's his money punch. And there's the bell to win round 1.
Very nice, okay? You can settle down a little bit. You know, when he's leaping in, just take a little sidestep, you know what I mean, baby? Just a little sidestep and bang this son of a bitch, okay? Keep that jab working. I love that jab, okay? You're doing very, very good, okay? You just keep working like this and punish him and punish him and punish him. You're doing beautiful, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, just enough. Nah. Let's be smart. Be careful, okay? Be very sick.
I think I heard him, though.
Yeah, I know, in the body, yeah.
Yeah, hit him with a good body shot.
Yeah. Jab to the body. Jab to the body and the right hand to the chin. Jab to the body is your secret, and you can catch him every time.
Seconds out.
Turn up on him.
Well, you heard the instructions. Al Bonani telling Randall Bailey, I love what you're doing. Work that jab. And And they want Lopez to go to the body. Dub Huntley over there in his corner.
Both corners seemingly satisfied with that first round. Both seemingly thinking their fighter took it.
Well, I think the round was pretty clearly Bailey's. However, Lopez made a good account of himself.
Good left hook to the temple by Randall Bailey.
Look at Bailey's strength. Look at that. Look at the way he punches. Boy, he's going for knockouts when he punches.
He's stepping in with some very crisp left hooks and firing the overhand right over the jab of Lopez. Very strong shots.
Blistering left hooks by the champion, Randall Bailey. Boy, some good action in that last round. Often you see more of a feeling out process in championship fights in the opening round, but not here. These guys going right at it.
Well, in Lopez's behalf, he took some really good shots and is coming back. He didn't stagger, he didn't flinch, so tough guy.
Lopez intends to take Bailey deep into this fight, at least after 6 rounds. He says he won't be used to my pace, but Randall Bailey has other ideas. A little bit of a low there, but no impact behind it.
You would think as Lopez gets on in years that he might want to slow that pace down because the body won't absorb it as well as when he's younger. And Bailey loves to keep a good pace.
And particularly coming off such inactivity. This is his first start since May of 1998.
And Bailey also punishes the body. He doesn't let you go. So that's going to be a factor in an old fighter.
And Lopez really lacks big-time one-punch knockout power. That's not his thing. Conditioning and stamina tends to almost always start quickly and fade in the later rounds. He's had problems with conditioning, although that could change under new trainer Charlie Gergen's watchful eye. Straight right hand there, but by Bailey, but Lopez had an answer.
Nice counter right hand by Lopez, and Lopez with another left hook right hand back. Very surprising that he's that quick and that accurate.
Lopez dancing around, Bailey chasing him down, fighting him. Lopez bouncing off the ropes. He could be buying some time here, Lopez. He could be having stamina problems now.
I think he's already getting that little move on the rope was one of those, oops, excuse me a minute, let me take some time out. He is already having a little bit of breath problems.
Back off of you, Randall.
It's only the second round, folks, but remember, this is an old guy. He hasn't been in here a long time, and he's absorbing heavy shots.
This is one of the major questions going in. What kind of shape is Hector Lopez in?
That beautiful left hook to the body might be one of the things slowing down Lopez.
And Lopez is shaken up.
That left hook to the body hurt and bent him in half, Steve. He is sucking from the gut right now. He is in pain.
Lopez
another good shot.
really taking some punishment to the midsection.
Keep your head up.
Bailey continues to fire ferocious shots to the belly of Lopez. There's another one, a left hook to the stomach. Boy. Let's go over to Jim Gray. Hello, Jim.
Hello, Steve. Nice to be with you here with Byron Mitchell. Byron, you're going to fight here tonight. You were concerned with your slow start when you won the title against Frankie Lyles. You're going to try and change that start tonight?
Well, I basically going to start out with establishing my jab first, and controlling the fight tempo where it's at my pace.
What do you know about Bruno? It's the first time he's fought in the United States, a relative unknown. Do you know much about him?
Not too much. It was kind of hard to gauge him watching the films. I saw his last 3 fights. He's kind of hard to gauge. He's just typical European, in my opinion. But I'm looking forward to a good, hard fight. I know he's coming to, do his best, and I'm looking forward to it.
You concerned about him?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, I don't think he's a threat, but, I'm not overlooking him either.
All right, Byron, we look forward to it.
Thank you.
Back out to you, Steve.
All right, Jim. The man that Byron Mitchell will be fighting only has 5 knockouts, so that might be one of the reasons he is not feeling threatened by him. We'll see that later. Let's watch here in round 3 if Lopez lowers his hands any to protect his body from those powerful punches by Randall Bailey.
Lopez started to fire the same left hook back at the end of the round. They both landed left hooks to the body simultaneously. So Lopez not only got the pain and the message, but he's delivering a few of his own.
Vicious shots, a left hook to the body by Bailey. There's a left hook to the temple by Bailey, and he is relentless now. Straight right hand right on the head by Bailey.
Coming in with it too, Randall. Keep your head back.
Big start to the 3rd round by the champion Randall Bailey, who is just pummeling Lopez.
He's really loading up with those body shots.
He looks like Chavez. One to the head, bow to the left side. One to the head, bow to the left side. Boy, that guy. There he goes again.
No caution at all. So he just leans over and bangs and drives it.
Thunderous shots by Bailey to the midsection and to the head. He is oozing with confidence right now, dancing around, showing us a little bit of a shuffle there. And he is just in complete control.
He is what they call team morph. When you know you're going to hit something and you can throw as hard as you can when you're going to hit it. That's what he's doing.
Punch your head, both of y'all.
Bailey in command. There's a straight right off the top of Lopez's head. Lopez just doesn't seem to have the answers. It's not only a conditioning problem, a problem of stamina for Lopez, but all those shots have to be taking a lot of air out of him.
It's a little bit surprising to me that Bailey is doing so much moving. He hurt his man, he backed him up, he attacked, and really was effective, and now he's on the move. That makes
Bailey's showing
some confusion for me.
A good combination of power and boxing ability here. And he's really got Lopez confused. And Lopez telegraphing that overhand right. That was really in slow motion. Now the left was in slow motion. Lopez being overmatched here by the younger champion, Randall Bailey from the Miami area.
Let's go, both of y'all watch it.
Look at this movement by Bailey. You're right, Bobby.
He's doing a lot of moving. I was a little bit surprised because he's so effective on the attack. Just punching in, banging, using his youth and his strength. And it just seemed to be so much more effective than when he's moving. He's giving Lopez a chance to A-rest and B-land.
Hit on the brake.
Don't hit on the brake when you're holding.
Hit on the brake. Don't hit on the brake when you're holding, the guy says. The referee says.
Well, Hector Lopez has been known for wickedly distinct fouls over the years. This is nothing new to him. He'll try almost anything to win.
Now, don't hold him behind the head now. Come on.
And that brings the end to round 3. Another big round for Bailey.
We're going to watch Randall Bailey facing us. He's going to start coming to Lopez, and what he does, he works sometimes. Instead of doing under and over, he does an over, he throws a hook up top, then he digs up under. But you watch how he bends as we roll the tape. Watch how he bends with that hand. He comes in up top. Now watch him bend over and dig. A little bit wide, but he dug to the body, got just under the elbow. That's been working for him the whole time. What the fighters will usually do, instead of going under and over, fighters automatically think the punch comes to the body, they over and under. To bring the hand up, just open up the body. Did a nice job of it.
We're winning. Put your legs in, yeah.
You know what they will do?
We're winning.
You're winning, you're doing good. Keep working.
One day. Second time, let's go.
The man wearing the cowboy hat, the ubiquitous Joe Sayanovich, who used to be in the corner of Orland and Terry Norris. Here's Randall Bailey popping out for the fourth. Bailey began round 3 with numerous combinations, which stunned Hector Lopez, the former Olympic silver medalist from Mexico, raised in Glendale, California, now lives in Palmdale, California.
Joe, one of my favorite guys in boxing, with a straight face says, you're ahead, you're winning this fight. I don't think he can look at the guy in the eye and say that.
Thumping shot off the shoulder. Oh, there's a right hook by Randall Bailey off the head of Lopez.
You see, notice there, Bailey again, rocking on that jab. Right, here he goes again, right to the side with a beautiful right left to the body.
Beautiful countering left hook, though, by Lopez. Lopez's best shot of the night. His corner telling him to continue to do what he just did. And he's trying, and he is pressing the attack all of a sudden. Here comes Lopez, but Bailey continues to move away.
I think he got Bailey's attention with that left hook. It not really stunned him, but got his attention and his respect. Bailey back on his horse a little.
Well, Lopez, if he goes, he won't go easily, that's for sure. He's a warrior.
He went the distance with Kostya. We know he's a tough guy.
That tells you a lot. Straight right hand there by Bailey, but a nice block by Lopez. Good defense there by the challenger. Lopez looking a little more confident now, and as I say that, he eats some leather. A straight right hand that got through the defense.
No punching, no punching.
He's fighting more than he has previous to this round. He's getting some body shots in. He's getting something that he was not getting before. At least he's getting some action. Whoa. Look at that one.
Beautiful left hook there by Bailey.
They just traded right hands. I think Bailey got the better of it.
Well, Lopez is certainly trying his best. Bailey, with his hands down low, is also and getting some weather right now.
Lopez is landing a lot of right hands on top of Bailey's head as Bailey ducks. Now that's legal. It's not behind the head. It's on top of the head, which is very soft and very painful.
He threw 3 of them in a row, 3 right hands, right on top of the head.
Well, this might be a round for Hector Lopez with 45 seconds and counting.
But it's definitely his best round. I mean, he's definitely competitive here.
Bailey walked right into that left hook. He ducked right into it.
He dropped himself right into a punch.
Nice combination here by Lopez.
Lopez with a beautiful combination.
Lopez trying to steal this round. Those are 2 very nice combinations.
I think he is stealing the round.
3 or 4 punches apiece. Again. And
beautiful left-right.
And followed with another left, Steve. That was a beautiful combination. All of them landing cleanly.
A 1-2-3 combination by Hector Lopez, and he has definitely won this round.
Yeah, he was headed for a one-way beating. He's pulled this round, and he's got it.
Final seconds of the round, the best of the night thus far for the challenger, Hector Lopez, who got a wake-up call. Coming up next, our main event, the WBA Super Middleweight Championship, as Byron Mitchell takes on Frenchman Bruno Gerard. Let's take you into the dressing room of the challenger, Bruno Gerard of Blois, France. Captured the French Super Middleweight title in '96 after 4 title defenses. He beat Andrei Shkalikov for the European Championship. Tonight, his first fight on American soil. What's this guy all about? Is he any good? We'll find out shortly. He's 36-3, but only 5 KOs.
Step to the side. You had him with the right hand over there, but you drew it. Take that step.
Here we see some of the combinations toward the end of the round. Lopez getting his best stuff in. Throws a right hand and left hand in the middle after missing the first left hand. Those were 2 of the better clean shots that he'd thrown around. And right after that, he had thrown another combination of almost the same set of punches, landing all 3.
Randall Bailey is still kind of bouncing around on his toes, but he lost a little bit of that spring in round 4 when Hector Lopez connected with several left hooks.
Not only that, Steve, but the look on his face changed.
Yeah, especially after you got hit 3 right hands on top of the head. Say, wait.
So Bailey now with a little more of a sense of urgency after that terrific 4th round by Hector Lopez, who really woke up.
If not urgency, caution. I mean, hey, this is not a...
Oh! A right hand on the left temple, and Lopez went down, and he is wobbling.
He threw a jab, and Randall came right around it, right in the ear, jaw, temple side. Right to his knees goes Lopez.
It's only the 2nd time in his 13-year career he's been off his feet.
Pick him up. That was low. Come on now.
So Lopez now in a little bit of trouble. He has been rocked, momentarily dazed. What a shot by Byron Mitchell right off the side of the head. Oh, fouling tactics there. Dirty tactics by Lopez. I should say Byron Mitchell.
Stop your punches.
I mean, Randall Bailey did it again.
Bailey is just taking his time looking for that one punch. He maybe waiting too long for that right hand. He had the guy down and in trouble. He should have attacked him.
Lopez, tough guy, you know, resilient. You can't give him that much time to recover.
I mean, he threw a bunch of left hands looking to land the right hand, but it never opened.
And Lopez is landing with the left.
Now he's back.
He landed a nice 3-punch combination there, under, over, and around. All 3 of them landing pretty clean. Not quite the zip on them that Randall Bailey has on his head up.
He says, I'm back. I was gone for a little bit, but I'm back.
And there's that right hand on top of the head.
A walking combination didn't land at all.
Randall Bailey now know he's got somebody in front of him. He's being very cautious now.
Hector has nothing on his punches right now.
Randall Bailey, though, is not throwing punches. At least Hector's throwing a few. Bailey, for whatever, nice right hand to the body. Bailey seems to be waiting on something.
He's waiting for that right hand magic to drop the guy again, and that don't come that easy.
Especially against a guy like Hector Lopez. Here's an overhand right by Bailey that connected.
Stop your punching. Stop your punching.
Final seconds, round 5.
Hector, you can spit to your right. You can spit to your right. I got it. Hitting deep now.
We're going to take a couple of looks at that knockdown. Watch, the jab goes out for Lopez. And as he throws it out, Randall comes right around and hits him in the ear and the temple. And it's just a very good shot that shocked him, knocked him to his knees. Here we'll look at it again. Lopez throws out a jab right up here. Jab out and right around the top of the temple, head area. And Lopez, you know, to his credit, came back and threw a few combinations that landed pretty clean. Here's one that looked like it was on the top of the head. That one's on the side of the head, the ear, underneath, uppercut of the chin. He may be a little dirty, maybe not. They were real borderline, but he was trying to get a little revenge, a little payback.
That's seriously the ugliest combination I think I've seen this while. Wow, was that bad? You can't even define one of those punches.
Keep your punches up this round.
Randall Bailey won the first half of round 5, including a knockdown at the 28-second mark, but Hector Lopez connected with some shots of his own.
Bailey just walked into a big left hook, and you know, he just didn't do anything, offered up nothing.
He's done that a couple of times here. Well, we've got a good one.
Shots to the side.
And back comes Lopez. And then Lopez misses with a wild left hook. Good duck under move. Here's a straight right hand by Bailey. Bailey with a left-right combination to the head of Lopez.
Well, they're starting to unload now.
What a tough guy this Lopez is. Is he tough? And
Stop no break. Stop your punching. Stop your punching.
Oh.
Good body shot by Lopez, and Randall Bailey opened up right into it.
Go holding.
Come back with a hook. Come on, use it.
look at that. He's thrown 6, 7 punches, and Bailey had to throw one thing in return.
Bailey just not answering back right now.
Work your hands. Pick him up.
Nice body shot. That was borderline. That would hit the white belt. That would hit the white.
The explanation from Fred Steinwinder III is what he's saying to Lopez.
I wonder what Bailey's doing, taking the round off. Figures he got a 10-8 round, he can afford to give away another one.
Well, he's certainly taking a bit of it off.
He hadn't punched.
First minute and a half gone by, we have to give this round to Lopez. He's landed all good combinations.
He's thrown everything. The other guy hasn't thrown anything. What's happening with Bailey? Wake up.
Well, I tell you, once Lopez there's a good straight right hand by Bailey. Once Lopez weathered the early storm, he has really come back. And he's done very well. Bailey trying to come on now.
Step back.
Under a minute remaining in round 6. This fight now going in spurts.
Good combination. Good combination counterpunch.
And there's 2 more. 3 right hands in a row.
Oh. Did you hear that?
A little brush.
Referee's microphone took a brush on left hand by Lopez.
Touch everything, but don't touch his microphone.
Randall Bailey starting to bleed a little bit from his nose and his mouth.
Got a little tiny drop of blood. He's getting hit. Make no mistake about it. This guy won the round.
Bailey knows he's in a fight right here, and this is a test of his mettle as the blood continues to drip from his nose. There's a good left-right combination to the head by Lopez. Lopez not very confident.
Lopez is leaping and jumping in, walking one foot in front of another. No good power that way.
And now he's got Bailey figured out so far.
Here, come on. Check that round for me.
7.
Give me a towel.
Right behind you.
Give me a towel.
All right.
Come here. Come on, man. Fran, you're jumping all over the place. You hear what I'm telling you? You're jumping all over the place. You hear what I'm telling you? How's that? Randall Bailey? Gotcha, okay? Keep your hands up. You're dropping your head in. What is he doing? See what I told you he was going to do in the gym. Deep breath. All right. What round is this?
7.
This is 7. Come on, we got 5 more.
This is a gut check, isn't it? As Alvinati said to Randall Bailey. He looks a little spent there in that corner. Takes a big, deep breath as he gets up the red stool. Boy, halfway through this championship bout, looks like stamina could be a big factor the rest of the way. Neither fighter backing up.
Nice jab stuffed in there by Lopez.
Cornerman made a typical mistake going down to line. He says, this is round 7. You got 5 more to go now. You got 6 more to go. 7 counts as 1.
5 more after this.
After this one. Hello.
Here's the online scoring halfway through. They've got Bailey ahead 4 rounds to 2. How do you guys have?
About that?
I have 4-2 exactly.
58 to 55.
But I have an extra 1 point in there for the knockout.
For the night, 58-55.
Watch your head, both y'all.
Hector Lopez went down from a right at 28 seconds of round 5.
You know, and I was talking about the keys to victory. And Randall Bailey came out, put the pressure on, applied the pressure in the first 3 rounds. He had Lopez hurt. He had him down. And, you know, it was incredible that he just stopped doing it and let Lopez get back in. Now Lopez is controlling the pace. Boxing smart from the outside and on the inside.
Lopez doing a little holding and heading, getting warned by Steinwinder.
You know, what was he doing here is imposing character. He's imposing the will to win. That's what makes boxing so interesting. I mean, this guy is just willing himself to win these rounds now.
We saw Francois Botha do that against Briggs, and I will tell you.
Oh, what a solid straight right hand by Randall Bailey, right on the jaw, and that's got Lopez in some trouble here. Lopez is a bit dazed, and Bailey knows that he's trying to finish him off. Oh, another heavy right hand.
Lopez is trying to fight back too. You see him thinking with the hook there, but it may be too little, too late.
Well, Lopez is showing tremendous heart.
That was a Hollywood shot. That looked like out of a movie. He's stumbling over his feet. Is Lopez. Lopez in trouble.
The time left, a lot of time, 1:09.
Still over a minute. This is plenty of time to get the job done.
Whoa, what a hammering Lopez has taken. He doesn't back away.
Bailey just loading up now, firing rights and left. Right uppercut.
The right uppercut. That's it. There it is. The right uppercut. I was just saying it as he threw it.
And Lopez not trying to tie Bailey up.
Oh, boy.
He's out on his feet right now. He's stumbling around, but he comes back with a left hand. Lopez, he's fighting on instinct, on guts. Straight right hand by Bailey that sends Lopez back. But look at Lopez. He's hanging in there.
Lopez doing everything he has to keep this fight from being stopped.
Yeah, he's just throwing arm punches. That's right, Bobby, to keep it from being stopped.
Can he last 19 more seconds here? Another straight right hand by Bailey. Fred Steinwinder III watching very carefully here in the end of the 7th. Well, he almost fell down when he threw a left hand, Lopez. Can he make it 5 more seconds? You talk about guts, Hector Lopez. That's it. He made it. Barely makes it to the street.
Barely makes it back, a weary and beaten fighter.
Give me the mouthpiece. Stop here. All right.
You watch this beautiful right hand where he first gets him in trouble. He rips the right hand right up through here. You see him, he backs up, he steps, plants his foot, and fires that right hand right in the jaw. And right from there on, it's the beginning of the end, at least for the combativeness of Lopez. For the rest of the round, all he could do was offer up some token punches to not get stopped. Randall Bailey teed off on him. I think maybe he hurt himself a little too much, but here you see him just ripping in, teeing over, trying to take one big right hand, end the fight. Not quite enough. Randall Bailey a little tired, but his gut check seems to be in place.
Hector Lopez fought hurt for a good portion of round 7. Randall Bailey, though, he's got to be tiring, but still connecting.
This will be a very key round for both fighters.
Round 8.
I don't know how key it's going to be for Bailey. He's so far ahead he can barely lose his fight, but it is absolutely mandatory for Lopez to survive if he can.
Lopez starts the round by bouncing around, keeping his distance. Can't blame him.
Tough guy. Tough man.
The full effects of that right hand and the subsequent pummeling, I think, are still there. I don't think he's got rid of it.
Now this is a guy, keep in mind, who hasn't fought in a long while, since May of 1998. Still hanging tough.
Now he won't fight until the next century. After this one.
Next millennium. Well, it looks like it could just end on one punch if Bailey connects with him.
I think the referee's looking at him very closely. If he starts that pummeling again, I think the referee will come in. I don't think he'll let him take a whole round of punishing.
You have to wonder why Bailey isn't playing more. That's a second good clean left hook right hand combination that Lopez has landed, and Bailey hasn't even offered anything up back.
See, that's what he's looking for.
Loading up.
That's why. He's looking for the atom bomb.
Many times fighters get a thought in their mind and they can't switch, they can't make the adjustment. And they look for that one big shot. I've been guilty of it many times myself. You just can't get that thought process out of your mind and get back to the game.
Randall Bailey, 19-0 with 19 knockouts, trying to pick up knockout number 20 here on one punch. Hector Lopez, 39-6-1, 21 knockouts. The number 7 contender has lost in 2 previous world title shots to Miguel Angel Gonzalez and Sammy Fuentes.
Don't hit him behind the head now.
Lost a decision to Carlos Gonzalez. In 97, the man Bailey beat for the belt.
No, stop your punching, hold. Stop your punching. Let go of it. Let go. Let's go break.
Under a minute remaining in round 8. Lopez just trying to survive after getting pummeled in the previous round. Oh, and a nice attack move there, left-right combination by Lopez.
That's the third time he's done that this round, and Bailey's offered nothing back.
He's just pacing himself now, Lopez, every once in a while coming forward and shooting a few shots out.
You can make a fair argument that Lopez is winning the round just by landing 4 or 5 of those combinations. Bailey's not really offering up much of anything. Here again.
Which is a wonder.
Who would bet after the last round that he would win the next round by running around and landing punches, and the other guy wouldn't do anything? I mean, that's what's happened. He's won a round. He's won a round.
He's a very intelligent fighter. Very crafty.
See that one punch at a time, Bailey loading up, mixing, swinging around, not going to work.
And let's go over to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you, Steve. I'm here with Chambray Mitchell. He is the WBA champion in this weight class. How would you assess the performance so far of Randall Bailey?
I think he's doing pretty good. I think he uses his jab more. You know, you got a veteran in there that's fighting him, and you know, he's doing pretty good right now.
Chambray, you and Costazou, the WBC champion, are considered the 2 best in this division. What are your plans?
I would love to fight Costazou if he can get some balls and fight. We can fight. But I'm looking for big paydays and bigger things, and you know, I'm not trying to be in this long, so I want to do what I want to do and get out of it.
Is Bailey a possibility should he advance?
Bailey is young right now. He's still trying to come up, and he's a WBO champion. I think he has a long way to go, and I don't think no time soon.
Chambray, we look forward to seeing you back in the ring.
All right, thanks.
Back over to you, Steve.
All right, thank you very much, Jim. The very talented Chambray Mitchell is right. He's got to work his jab. Talking about Bailey. And Bailey corner a little late in getting out of there.
Well, Chambray Mitchell and Costazou, that's the fight in his division right now. And eventually Zab Judah is going to figure in to one of these titles for sure.
All right, here we go into round 9. Lopez might have won rounds 4, 6, and 8. But the odd rounds, especially 5 and 7, which might have been 10-8 rounds, have been quite punishing for him. Let's see what happens here in round 9.
I cannot imagine his corner didn't really lash into him and tell him, hey, you just gave away something that you should have knocked this guy out with. You should have knocked him out this round. So get started now.
And Lopez starts the 9th with some offense there, an overhand right. Lopez able to get sort of a second win here after that difficult 7th round, and then Bailey couldn't pick up where he left off in round 8. He just sort of took it off.
You know, it's funny, too. They say when you get old, the first thing to go are your legs, but right now Hector's legs look pretty good.
Yeah, he's bouncing. He's dancing. He must be in some kind of good shape to dance like this. Come on.
Keep your hands, both hands free inside.
Sometimes you see a punch so clearly and it just misses.
Stop your punching, stop your punching. Step back, step back.
Bailey starting to do a little bit more fighting than he did last round. At least he's throwing something.
Randall Bailey in uncharted territory. The longest he's ever gone in the past 7 rounds against a fighter named Bobby Jones back in 1997.
No, that could be one of the things that has been hiding in the back of his mind, worrying about the distance, worrying about this guy's toughness, worrying about going the rounds, and it certainly affected his performance.
No, that's not the result of a punch, says Fred Steinwinder. He slipped.
That's the result of age.
Oh, that's the result of a punch. A straight right hand down goes Lopez for the 2nd time in the fight.
Right into that, Steve.
He sure did.
Well, that's Bailey power. That's what we're used to seeing, one punch.
And that's it.
That's it, and rightly so. Rightly so.
Look at his left eye.
Rightly so.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to argue about that.
And he would have needed a minute to survive there, so that is a good stoppage. He would have been punished.
Well, he needs a chair. Come on, bring a chair out there. Come on.
I don't think he was prepared to go in this type of distance at this type of pace, but he got an opportunity because of the last fight falling out. This fight stepping up to be here for him. He can't walk away from that type of championship opportunity.
Well, Lopez, who could barely stand, finally gets a stool under him and able to sit down now.
Clean up his face. Give me the.
You have to, let's say one word. I mean, he's an old champion, hadn't been along, but he sure gave us a nice night. I mean, he fought way beyond his capabilities right now, I think, and he won the rounds that just by sheer guts and getting up and fighting like that. I admire Lopez and his kind of fighting like that, and I hope he tells the story walking. I hope he doesn't come back.
Much resolve and will. Great heart by this gentleman, Hector Lopez. He hung in there as long as he could. Randall Bailey, though, with his second successful defense of the WBO junior welterweight title, running his record to 20-0 with 20 knockouts. Meanwhile, Hector Lopez falls to 39-7-1. And you wonder where he goes from here after 3 failed world title attempts. Also, he's 32 years of age, and he's been in a lot of wars.
We're going to take a look here first, I think, at the slip. He just slips, and that's it. And he goes back right here, and he just trips. I think his legs are a little weak there. I think that was pretty clear. He's not walking well. And when he gets up, referee waving off, it's not a knockdown. When he gets up, he still doesn't seem correct. But he walks in, he just walks. I mean, he doesn't even react to that right hand. He doesn't put his hands up. He doesn't start to duck. He barely reacts to that right hand like he never saw it. And he's clearly out. He's tired. He's beaten. He's hurt.
I think that was the accumulation of punches, Bobby. It wasn't really that he just tripped or anything. It was just everything went out of all the circuits shorted and he fell. Because when he got up without any kind of balance and walked straight in like to an execution.
There's the whole sequence again. He just trips right there. There's no real knockdown, no punches, nothing.
Now watch when he gets up. He doesn't have his legs good under him. Watch.
Look at him when he gets up. He's getting up. He fell down from fatigue and just body abuse.
Watch how he walks right into a punch. Walks right into it.
Like I said, he barely reacts to it. Doesn't bend, doesn't put his hand up, does nothing to defend himself, which makes me believe he was just out of it.
Well, in sharp contrast to Randall Bailey, Hector Lopez really down and out there. The future, though, looking very bright for the 25-year-old Bailey, who looks to unify the title. We'll get the official time from Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 2 minutes even in round number 9. A referee in charge, Fred Steinwinder III, stops the contest. The winner by way of technical knockout, still undefeated and still the WBO junior welterweight champion of the world, Randall Bailey.
So Randall Bailey now 20-0, 20 knockouts. They would love WBC champ Kostyazu if possible, but anybody will do. Shambe Mitchell or Tehran Millette. Trainer Al Banani also indicated to me that they wouldn't mind Julio Cesar Chavez. Coming up next, our main event, the WBA Super Middleweight Championship. Undefeated Byron Mitchell versus #1 rated Bruno Gerard of France. Let's get you into the dressing room of the champion, Byron Mitchell. Offense has always been the best defense for the heavy-handed Mitchell, who shocked Frankie Lyles by rallying to win the WBA title. The 1996 National Golden Gloves champion flattened 90 opponents in 115 amateur fights, knocking an opponent cold right here in Mississippi, forcing officials to summon the paramedics to revive the other boxer. His confidence has to be at an all-time high as he awaits #1 contender Bruno Gerard of France in his first title defense. We're set for post-fight reaction from our opening bout. Let's go to Jim Gray in the ring.
All right, thank you very much, Steve. Randall, first of all, congratulations to you. How would you assess your performance here tonight? He was a little more game for being so inactive, Hector was. And by the way, the doctors tell us that Lopez is fine and he's sitting here on his stool and it'll be okay, but he was a little bit more game for a guy who hadn't fought since 1998 of May.
Yeah, but I was a little rusty too. The layoff when I was ready for the 21st and then in October, and I didn't fight. So
we were in the gym for 3 months.
Yeah, right after the title fight, I was back in the gym like 4 days later, and I've been in there ever since, working, thinking I was going to fight soon, but it didn't happen well.
Hey, Randall, let's take a look here at the monitor. We're going to show you the entire sequence from the slip on. Tell us what's happening here.
Well, I seen his eyes begin kind of weak, and it looked like he was ready to quit. So
that was the slip right there.
Yeah.
Gets back up. Go ahead.
I knew when he got up, he was looking like he didn't want to finish. So I just kind of set him up a little bit with some power shots, and boom.
And boom, right there. Was that slip right there exhaustion? Did you just warn him out at that time?
Yeah, pretty much. But I did catch him. I did catch him. I caught him real good with the punch.
He's a brave guy.
Here's Hector. We'll bring him in just to make sure that he's okay. Let me ask you this. Do you now feel as though you're ready for Chambre Mitchell or Costazoo? Are you ready to do that now after 20 fights?
Yeah, I don't think they'll take as many punches as Hector took.
You don't think so, huh?
I don't think so.
So you think you're ready to step up into that class? All right, let's quickly bring Hector in. Hector, first of all, has the two embrace right here. Hector, first of all, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Was that just exhaustion there in the round, the slip, or was that truly a slip?
The slip, yeah, was a slip. He caught me with a punch after that. I felt the right hand on the temple. But there was a little push, just half slip, half push. But I give the kid a lot of credit. He hung in there. We traded a few good shots. I'm sure I hurt him a couple of times also. But I give him credit. He's a tough kid, and he deserved the win. But like I said, I'd like to get another fight and come back again. No worries. God bless you.
All right, Hector, we're glad you're okay. Back over to you, Steve.
Thanks very much, Jim. At the time of the stoppage, the three judges had Randall Bailey leading 77-74, 78-71, 77-74. As far as the fans at home, the online scoring results from our first bout, there it is. At the time of the stoppage, they had Randall Bailey up on Hector Lopez by a count of 6 rounds to 3.